Guys, I need to talk to you about Iron Athlete Clinics. Iron Athlete provides clinics, seminars, and coaching for everyone from beginners to accomplished athletes. There are plenty of people putting on clinics and seminars these days, but a lot of them are just schmucks who threw up a website and a PayPal account. Iron Athlete Clinics are run and coached by real athletes at the top of their field. You want to learn weightlifting? You'll learn from national and Olympic level weightlifters. You want to learn strongman? You're going to learn from pro level strongmen. Gymnastics, mobility, rowing, even online coaching. Iron Athlete provides training on a level you never thought you'd have access to. Or maybe your gym is looking for a way to break through plateaus. Contact Iron Athlete and ask about hosting a clinic at your gym. It's not only a fun way to bring your box together, but it'll jump everyone's game who attends. For info, visit ironathleteclinics.com. That's ironathleteclinics.com. Iron Athlete. Iron sharpens iron. It's not fragile.
Oh. Okay. Is that good?
Banging. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So you can't so you just decided to come out because you're training with your grid coach.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just on the whim flew out from Torrance?
Yeah. So my sister booked a late flight.
Mm-hmm.
No. She didn't book a flight. So she kind of waited the last minute. Flights were from LA to Phoenix were over $200. So she's like, that's kind of expensive. And so we decided, if we rent a car, because my car's, we probably wouldn't make it here.
Why? What do you drive?
It's like an old Lexus, but SUV, but it's like 2002.
It's a nice
so
ride.
Yeah. But it's going on a lot of miles.
Okay.
So we
it's
just
still
rented...
a Lexus though. It's a
You're right.
It's a Toyota. It'll run forever. I've got my little Toyota pickup, little Tacoma.
Yeah.
Is creeping up on 200,000 miles, and
That's
I've
right.
never changed anything but the belts and the oil in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have an old Lexus. Oh gosh, it has like 260,000 miles on it.
It's banging. They're great cars.
Yeah. And my dad's a pastor, so everyone's like, how do you guys have all these Lexuses you guys take from the offering?
Lexus I.
Yeah. So,
but if you can get one that's even 3 years old, they're still great.
Right. Yeah.
So you can buy a nice Lexus that somebody else was like, oh, I'm bored with this now.
Right.
You can get a nice car.
Great cars, and they run forever. Literally zero, not too many problems at all.
Cool.
Yeah. But so anyway, so we drove up. We rented a car, drove up Thursday night, and I got a ticket on the way over here.
Oh, are you shitting me? Really? Sorry, I swear.
No, it's cool.
I kind of use swear words commas, so I apologize.
No, it's good. I like it. So I was actually going way faster, and then when I saw like a cloud of dust. So I thought it was almost like a fire. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh no, someone's car caught on fire. And then the closer I got to it, there was 2 or 3 cop cars in the middle of in the dirt road. That's why all the dust was up.
Oh, for real?
And then I was like, great. As soon as I went by, I was like, I'm getting a ticket. And then the guy
Where were you that you were on a dirt road?
No, Blythe.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Blythe has a middle
Blythe. Gotcha.
divider.
Gotcha.
See, I didn't get the warning that you need to slow down when you're in Blythe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I should have.
A portion of their whole economy is just tickets.
Yep. So he turned around, and luckily he was nice.
Sorry, by the way, audience, I'm sorry if you live in Blythe. Yeah.
I might show back up to go to court there. I'm just kidding. But no, it was fine. I mean, I think it always makes it better when the officer was nice, you know? So he was like, hey, I'm really, he's like, yeah, you're going fast. And, but I marked you down a little bit so you can go to traffic school. I was like, oh, that's nice of you. So,
okay. That's cool. Yeah. You will get, I have a lot of friends who are cops.
Okay. Gotcha.
So without getting into it lately, cops have a PR issue.
Right.
And so I constantly have to be like, I know lots of cops and they're nice.
Yeah.
So sometimes a lot of times you will get the ones who will just flat out write you a ticket.
Right.
And then you get the ones who are like, no, I get it. You're driving, it's the middle of nowhere. You think you're doing 60 when you're actually doing 70.
And that's the crazy thing because it's so wide open and there's no one on the road. I was like, I honestly didn't know how fast. He's like, do you know how fast you're going? I was like, no, I really don't, Yeah. So, and everyone's like, well, how fast were you? I was like, 88 in a 70.
Oh.
Not so,
but, okay, but I'll say this. In a Lexus, you won't feel it.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It was smooth. Oh, well, we weren't driving a Lexus. We were driving something at the rental.
Because I remember my folks used to have a town car,
Yeah.
and I would be doing 90 in that thing and not know it.
Oh, it's smooth and just, you would never know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but it's okay. I mean, it's my first speeding ticket. Knock on wood, I don't get another.
Really? Ever?
Yeah, I made it almost 30 years. I'll be 30 in April.
Okay.
And no speeding tickets.
Oh, good for you. Yay, 30.
I know. Tear my Achilles, get a speeding ticket. I'm like, great. This is not the good start to
You
30.
get a bunch of stuff out of the way.
Okay. And then hopefully the rest of it will be.
The 30s
okay.
are awesome, by the way, just so you know.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah, they're great.
Everyone said that. I was like, okay.
You've still got most of the energy of your 20s,
Right.
but you think a lot clearer.
Yeah.
And you'll make a lot better decisions.
Great.
Yeah.
And we were talking at OPEX yesterday with all the girls, and then one other girl's going to be 30, and she's like, and for women, it's your sexual peak. And I was like, okay, cool.
Banging. Yeah.
All right. Everyone's like, yeah, 30s are the good years for everyone, I guess.
My wife is just crossing into that territory. And
Nice.
without being explicit, hoping that's true.
You guys have kids?
No, not yet.
Okay. Hey, this might be the years then.
Maybe. My wife just graduated from PT school.
Oh, that's awesome.
But she's also from like a big Filipino family. So like and they're not pressuring us because luckily her sister had a kid already.
Okay.
So that took some of the focus off of us.
Yes.
But this is gonna be as we often are on this podcast, playfully racist.
Okay, awesome.
I also think that it being half white and half Filipino is probably helpful.
That's a beautiful mix.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Oh, like gorgeous girls and the guys are good looking.
And specifically for like in Filipino families, the mestizo babies. Like I know a lot. I actually have two different friends who are both mestizo,
Really?
and they're both like, yeah, in our family, half of the family loves us and half hates us because we're the golden children.
Is her her sister's married to a Filipino? Or-
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So they're full. Nice.
Yeah, they are.
They're kid.
I think they're. I always screw it up because it was explained. They're like one of them is Ilocano and one of them, like if you're Filipino, this might be helpful. If you want to tell us which is which, one's
Please help.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, my sister-in-law, my brother just got married in
cool.
December, and she's Filipino as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they'll have a.
They're all over the place. Again, playfully racist, but seriously, if you're a Filipino family listening to this podcast, you guys are just taking over.
Yeah, and she's a nurse. Mm-hmm. Surprise, surprise.
What? She's it's either that, like, I was like, oh, we had the guys from Two Asians, One Bar
a
while back.
Right.
And we had a whole conversation about, like, you can meet pretty much any Filipino person, and it's not rude to go, like, oh, what branch of the service are you in? And like, oh, no, I'm not in the service. Like, oh, what hospital do you work at?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But great. Nice people, good food. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's like the sweetest girl. Like, super nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Great.
so we're happy.
Cool. Howdy Quadzillas, Steric, and this week we have someone live in studio, which is awesome because it's so much more fun than the call-in interviews. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I am Jaime Hagiya. I am from Torrance, California, and I own Torrance CrossFit.
Awesome. And do you go by Hagiya and not
Hagiya.
Joyce?
Oh, Jaime Joyce. And Joyce is my middle name.
Okay.
Yeah. So some people mix it up. They're like, because my Instagram name is Jaime Joyce. So they're like, oh, and they call me Joyce, or they call me, or they think that's my last name. Someone, Dave Newman from RX Market was like,
that is what I thought. I thought that was like your married, like.
Oh, my last name is Joyce?
Yeah.
Oh, funny. Yeah. So he knows it's Hagiya, but he was like, oh, I almost put Joyce on the back of your shirt, when they're printing up something. And I was like, and he's like, no, it's Hagiya. So yeah. Okay. Jaime Joyce is my middle name.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Instagram's tricky. All the usernames,
Yeah.
I always am like, oh no, that's their username, and they're like, that's actually not even her name at all. I'm like, oh, sorry. So.
Well, because I had the same thing with we just had Jennyfer Roberts on here, and every time you look for her, it's Jennifer Kang.
Right. So, because I discovered her on, I saw her interview on your guys' page, and so her last name is Roberts?
Her last name is Roberts. And I never actually got to the bottom of why she's Kang, if that is her middle name, or if that's like... I know, I saw pictures in her mom. Sorry, I'm stalking you, Jennifer. Her mom is Asian, so maybe that's her mom's maiden name or something? Maybe, and it might be a situation where like for public... like, because I know a lot of people that for publicity purposes, they use a modified name on social media.
Gotcha.
Because then it allows them to separate themselves from their social media presence. Which
right.
is a thing you actually have to think about these days.
Yeah, I know, definitely. And I just did that because, I don't know, I guess I don't even know when it was, maybe 2 years ago or something. My friends were like, you need to get on Instagram, Jamie. You're going to love it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know. So she like made it for me, and I just used that because it was my, I don't know, maybe my Skype name or something like that. So just easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we were just talking about, we just mentioned Jennyfer Roberts, and you guys have a handful of things in common.
Oh gosh, when I was reading it, it was all too.
It was bonkers, like to the extent that like
the
you
same.
You could get your Instagram feeds confused with one another.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to talk about some of the stuff you guys have in common?
Yeah, I mean, I saw injury, like how to, working around an injury or working out still with an injury. And so I expected it to be, normal or, shoulder, whatever, hip, knees. And then when I read Achilles, it caught my eye because obviously that's what I went through in June.
Yeah, you have for those that aren't familiar, you were competing in the NPGL.
Yeah, so I got signed to Phoenix, and then the final combine was in June, so they flew us out there for the people who were signed to do like an exhibition match at the end of the combine, or one of the days of the combine, and so that was my only run at the NPGL before it started, and unfortunately I was doing box jumps, I ran in, I did 10 or 15 30-inch box jump overs. Yeah. And then I ran out, and then we had to do it all over again in 5 minutes because the race repeats itself. And when I went in, I think it was on the third one, I was jumping. I did 1, 2, and on the third one, I went to jump up again, and I literally, and this is what everyone says, you felt like you've been kicked in the heel. I personally thought someone hit me with a barbell in the back of my heel.
Jennyfer said it felt like somebody like slapped her in the back. Like but like not, she didn't describe it as pain. It was like a slap, and then like just it felt wrong. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I looked around me. I looked over my shoulder because I was like, "What? No one else should be on the grid right now because it's just me and my teammate." And so when there was no one behind me, I was like, "Oh shoot, this is bad." And then my team's like, keep jumping," and I was like, "I can't." And then I just kind of sat there. You can see in the video, you're just kind of like, you're not even frustrated. You're just kind of like I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, because I really didn't know what exactly had happened until they wheeled me off and it didn't hurt. It didn't. It was like that moment, and then
it's the same for like people say on bicep tears. Like knock on wood, I've never had one.
Right.
But they're just like it's excruciating pain for half a second and then nothing.
Which is really bizarre because I really expected the next morning at least something because the doctor was like, "Okay, we're pretty sure it's a torn Achilles," and I was like, "Oh man!" Like even playing basketball and all my other years of sports, I've never even thought of that injury. I don't even know why. Like
it's not something that occurs. You think of hamstring. You think hamstring tears,
always
ACL,
knees. Yes.
MCL. You think like maybe you roll an ankle, but like people don't consider their Achilles a lot. And and I would like to say to the community, if you're a weightlifter or if you're any kind of explosive sport athlete,
right.
Basketball, football, any of that, you need to start paying more attention to your Achilles.
Yeah, and I went to, so I was, after I got my surgery and stuff, I was going back to USC. That's where I played basketball, and I was going to get PT there. And even the head trainer, who's been there for over 20 years, every sport, and he was like, "I've only seen two of them my whole 20 years here." And he's
really?
Like, yeah, because he's like, it's either older males, steroids, which I'm not on, and
or golfers. What?
Or he said freak accidents, kind of like how I was doing, the crazy high box jumps. But yeah, so I mean, they didn't even have like so much. He's like the one kid came in and he already had one, and then another kid did like a vertical jump, like a max jump, and then a sprint right after. And after he came out of that and sprinted, then he did that. But so they haven't really seen too many of them.
It's bonkers.
But they did say it's getting more prevalent in younger people.
That's what I was going to say, because my wife is a PT, and she's said that she's seen more of them than they used to.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people need to start paying attention. And I think it's because there's more people starting to engage in higher-end sports than they might have 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, people in their 30s and 40s are now doing stuff they never would have even considered in their 20s or 30s. They're getting into CrossFit or By the way, we do not have a TM on CrossFit, so please don't sue us. CrossFit or weightlifting or power, like you see like 40-year-old like women getting into powerlifting for the first time in the last few years, or they get into even a rec basketball league. You can come down from a layup the wrong way and stuff just goes wrong. Right.
My buddy called me a couple Sundays ago, maybe about a month ago, and he's like, I think I just tore my Achilles. And he was playing a pickup game. He went up for a rebound, and this girl at our gym did it the same way, exact same way. But it's kind of weird because, I mean, I guess they're like, because there's no real signs of it. It wasn't like my Achilles was hurting or.
That's every person I've talked to who has gotten one. Yeah. Which now is honestly only like 4 people, but they all none of them saw it coming. There wasn't tightness, there wasn't soreness. It's just they came down off of something or they took off and just all of a sudden. Yeah.
And so that's why, I didn't really think it was going to be that. But anyways, so it happened, and I pulled the Kobe, and hopefully I don't follow the rest of his path.
That's funny because that's the same name that Jennyfer came with. She's like, well, Kobe came back from it. So,
but then he hurt his knee and now his shoulder. So, I don't know if I want to do that. Go down that path.
I'm glad that you can provide that information because I know nothing about sports.
Oh, really?
Nothing at all.
I don't believe. Really?
You
don't follow any?
I don't follow sports. I haven't since I never have. I like athletics. I like fitness. But I don't follow sports. Okay. I'm of no use. I used to play competitive hockey. Yeah. And even then, I did not watch hockey on TV.
So no favorite teams, no nothing?
The Detroit Red Wings is the only team that I would consider following, and I don't follow them.
Okay, gotcha. But no Super Bowl? You don't watch the Super Bowl?
I will watch it because it's a thing that happens in the world.
Right.
That's it. The truth is, the only thing that I watch regularly is college football, and that is because my wife makes me. My wife is from Clemson.
Okay, so that's her team.
Gotcha. So we have to we go to a bar, and I sit and I read a book, and she watches the football game with a bunch of other people. That is funny. That I don't know.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I know nothing about sports. So I don't like sport. But the grid league I was following. Because it's something I can associate with. Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's actually to me, that's actually exciting. And it's presented in a way that, in my opinion, is making up for a lot of the stuff that is boring about watching CrossFit events. And I am saying that as someone who has hosted, scheduled, run and emceed and participated in multiple CrossFit events.
Right.
As a spectator, it's cool to watch your buddy working out.
Yeah.
But it's also near impossible to tell who's ahead.
Yeah. And for me, when my team came to play LA, it was at the Long Beach Pyramid, and I was trying to get everyone to go, even my sister, my boyfriend, everybody. And I was like, come on, you guys, it's going to be so fun. All my friends, I'm like, we got to go. We have free, I can get you guys tickets. And all of them were like, no, I don't really want to. I'm like, no, it's so different than CrossFit. Yeah. It's so, and then
I've explained it to lots of people and they couldn't give a shit. And then I send them a YouTube clip and they're like, oh, we should go to that.
Yes. So then that's their exact reaction after the match. They're like, that was so fun. They're like, I love it. They're like, it's fun to watch your regional and stuff, but they're like, we're there from 9 to 5, and we sit there for hours watching other people we don't really care about.
What do you mean competitive lifting and CrossFit events are super tight and exciting the whole time? They definitely don't obliterate an entire free day of someone's life.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I don't. It's fun. It's so much fun.
Even as a competitor, it can be boring as hell to go to an event because you do what you do for 10 minutes at a shot and then you wait around for 2-3 hours. Just there's no way around it. I get it. I had it when I was in fight sports. I had it when I do grappling tournaments. I've had it when I've done CrossFit and strongman competitions. Right. I know there's not a better way around it, but as a spectator, after you get someone to go to one event, it's hard to get them to go to a second one.
Right. And regionals is something different. And then I think this year, because they're combining super regionals and things like that, it will be a little more exciting. But how do you
feel about the format change? We can cut this out.
Oh, no, I could totally talk about it. I think that it's good and bad, because yes, you want to get the top 20. I think for some regions, like, the bottom 5, 10, 15, 20, it's a big difference between the top and the bottom.
Yeah, it's a nice experience for them to be
exactly.
there. But
as far as competition wise,
I did a whole semi-controversial article where I suggested that the games are currently a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I do. I think that's why it's great, because you let those competitors compete. But at the same time, once you get the top 20, it's a whole different ballgame, which combining 2 regions is great. But then at the same time, the thing that I don't really understand is if you're trying to get the best in the world, you're not going to take only 6 from, the NorCal, SoCal region, the 6 from this. And when you should be taking the top, you should do regionals at once and then take the top, 48 girls who finish. But I know, different regions go in different weekends, so then they get a little bit more time to prepare for them. And
there's
all these
logistical concerns.
Yeah, and taking the equipment everywhere, they can't have it all in one week. So I understand that. But any true sport, you're not going to take this person from here because they won the region, but this other person in this region was better than them.
But they would have it's just and I'm saying this in the spirit that it's intended. I'm not trying to slag anybody, but if I had competed in the Asia regionals 3 years ago, I would have gone to the games.
Right. Were you over there in the Philippines at all, or no?
No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I had a good. I think it was 2012. I actually did okay. Certainly not anymore, but I did okay. I was in the top 300.
Wow.
In the Southwest.
Very nice. Okay.
Just because I got this, it was a snatch ladder, which I was good at, and there was the Karen followed by double unders followed by muscle ups, and I was at the time, everybody can do muscle ups now. You just can. But a few years ago, not everybody could.
Oh, it would be, if you got 1 was a huge difference.
And I got 3.
Oh.
And I got 3. So at the time, I immediately, that event alone jumped me almost 200 spots.
That's crazy.
So by happenstance, I was in the top 300.
Nice.
Now, if I had been in Asia, I would have gone to the games and just been the guy that everyone's like, come on, little buddy. Yeah. It's just guys tussling my hair. Just no.
Come on.
You're doing all right.
Yeah.
And depending on what that's why there's times I wonder if there are athletes who shift parts of the country.
Yeah.
And I don't know how often that would happen, but
and everyone was like, Jamie, why don't you just move? This was before they did the super regionals. They're like, you should just move to Japan and just study, or open up a box there, or study, abroad, or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it'd be so fun to make it.
It would be fun. Well, I'll say this: I've been to Japan. You should just go to Japan.
Oh, I've been there. But it'd be so fun to make the games. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, my life is where it is, and I love everything about it. And I wouldn't just pack up and move just to try to make it too. I feel like that's why I think you're good enough. If whatever rules they make, whatever new things they throw at you, if you're good enough, you're going to make it, Yeah. No, there's no excuses. Oh, we have these people.
Yeah, I don't entirely agree with that.
Oh, yeah, but anyways.
Let me say this. As a man of larger carriage for my age group, I'm not a Metcon guy. So my complaint every year is always, when are we going to load something bigger than 135?
Well, that's why I think the RX and scale division is going to be like that this year. I think it's heavy. I think it's...
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Why? How come?
Just because then from my perspective, it makes it seem like some people are participating but not participating.
Gotcha.
Do you kind of see what I mean? It's before, when you signed up for the Open, you were thrown in with all the sharks. So even if you ranked really low,
right,
you got to be yeah, but I competed against the biggest MFers
now
on
I
Earth.
get it.
I may be ranked 30,000th.
Yeah.
But it's 30,000 out of some big tough people.
Right. Okay, I get it. Totally get it.
Whereas I understand the need for a scale division so everyone can participate, but I'm also of the mindset where I'm just no, I liked it even when I got knocked around.
Yeah, and then
feel like I played with the big kids.
Yeah, and then you could even be hey, this Rich got. Then it makes you appreciate oh, I got 3 rounds, and Rich got 10 doing the same thing, but you did the same workout, you know?
Everyone has an athlete that they follow. Even high-end athletes have somebody that they're just like, oh, I like that person. They're cool. And they can look, and everybody looks at other people's scores.
Oh,
everybody looks at other people's scores, and there's always going to be one thing where you're just like, ha, I got one more than you.
Yeah, totally.
On that one thing, that one time.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, there's people at my gym that do that. They're like, we'll do something, and they're like, yes! I might be like 5 or 6 rounds. They're like, I beat Jaime in the first round. My buddy at the gym. I'm like, okay, good job, Chris.
How many times on average do you redo an open workout? Do you redo them, or are you one and done?
So last year I was one and done for the most part. The year before that, I think, let's see, how many have I done? So I started CrossFit 2011, the end of 2011. No, wait, 11 or 12? Anyways, so I qualified for regionals. I think it was 2012. 2012, I qualified. I had jury duty on that Tuesday, right before regionals on Friday. I decided to go to CrossFit during my lunch break. Tore my hamstring, couldn't compete in regionals because the first workout was Diane.
Oh, God, how bad was the tear?
Bad. Like, I couldn't, like, I got called onto a case for jury duty.
Oh, so it wasn't like a week of, like, because I've seen hamstring tears that are a week of, like, PT and
no, this is like 2 or 3 months. I felt and heard it pop, but they're like, no surgery, no nothing, you just can't, so I couldn't even. Well, I got called off my case. I got called on a case.
Your posterior chain is not your friend.
I know. I need to work on this. But I mean, that's as far as major injuries, like, at least that one's surgery, nothing like that. Just let it heal. Mm-hmm. And even at the time, I didn't realize how big of a deal regionals was. Like, everyone from the gym I was at was like, no, are you kidding me? Why did you do that? I think you could still do it. And I'm like, no, what's the big deal, you guys? And then I went, just to check it out.
Yeah.
And it was in the Pomona Fairgrounds, I think. And it was so cool. And I was like, man, I wish I could have done this. But then I kind of put in my head, like, okay, maybe next year.
Yeah, people haven't done it before. If this is your first year, and because even though I'm technically not doing CrossFit right now, I'm still going to sign up for the Open just
Oh, good for you.
Just so I can be humiliated by all the
RX or scaled?
RX. I'll follow. It's fine. I'll do terrible. All the body weight stuff I'll do horrible on. All the gymnastic stuff I'll do horrible on. But I don't know. Maybe there'll be a deadlift portion that breaks 3 plates.
I think there's something heavy coming.
I hope.
I really think so. Heavy and skilled. So maybe handstand push-ups, pistols. Are you good at those?
I can do handstand push-ups. I've never been able to do a walk though.
Handstand walking.
Yeah.
That's what killed me last year.
Yeah, and I can still do a muscle up, just not a bar muscle up.
Okay. That's good. That's really good. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
You might qualify. Watch out, Southwest.
Well, what was the point I was making?
Oh, sorry.
No, I forgot. Oh, well, it's probably not important. But so yeah, you popped your hamstring.
Right.
It was about 3 months recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had the Achilles rupture, you've had a hamstring tear, and you're at a level where even your mindset probably would not allow you to do nothing. What do you train when your posterior chain's out of commission?
Let's see. I think 3. Oh, when I tore my hamstring, I had just retired from basketball. Like, the only reason why I got into CrossFit was because I was playing after USC. I graduated in 2007. I went to go play basketball overseas.
You played in the EuroLeague.
Yeah, so I played over there, and then I came back, and money, and I actually broke my leg in Greece. But it wasn't that even that wasn't that major because
in a game?
Yeah,
okay.
And I was playing against one of my old teammates from USC, and she was on another Greek team, and I was chasing after a ball. I stole it, and then a girl came and hit my knee and bent it backwards.
Oy.
Yeah, so then they thought it was just like a
hyperextension.
Yes, and then they found a small little fracture in my tib plateau, so nothing again. It was the same thing, like no surgery.
It still sucks though.
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad. And then my Greek team, they made me walk to PT. So, I don't know. So I love it over there, but
not
sometimes
compassionate people.
So no, they're super nice. I just my team. I don't know. But anyways, and then I came home. The market crashed. The economy hit, and so teams were running out of money. I went out to visit my best friend in Spain. Played with her. Got picked up on a team, and same thing. Kind of money fell through. So then I came back. So my last thing, I tried out for the Sparks.
Yeah, economically, that's going from one bad situation to another.
Yeah, Greece to Spain. I don't know. It was bad. Yeah. But then, so I came back, tried out for the Sparks, a WNBA team, and then I found CrossFit. And And so then I did the tryout for the Sparks. I didn't make the team. And then that's when I was supposed to go to regionals. So at least I pulled a hamstring when I was done playing basketball, nothing else major. Like I didn't have anything crazy in mind coming up. And that's why I was okay with it. Like, okay,
this
bummer.
is what it is. It's time for a transition.
Yeah, and I didn't even know really what CrossFit really was going to be for me. So I was like, oh, whatever. So I don't even so that time I don't think I really worked out a whole ton. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. I'll just stay off of it and just chill by the beach and do whatever, carry on with life. And then this time, it's a little bit harder because I feel like my momentum was just carrying and starting to do well. I did really well at regionals and grid was coming up.
That is always when it happens, too. It's just when you're just like, I'm just about to, there's a plateau and I'm just about to smash the shit out of it. And then, something happens.
Right. And I don't know. I think, it is hard. And I tell everyone, this is my first major injury where, surgery, being out for so long, not being able to walk was, the biggest shock to me. And so now I really, I had teammates in college and ACLs. One girl had 4 and 5 years. 4 ACL surgeries, yeah. And everything, hips, and our team was all messed up. But for the most part, I was healthy during college. So I didn't really understand, even the girl who tore her ACL, she would, after surgery, because she's had so many, she would literally be in the gym the next, couple weeks, shooting and so
you can do bodybuilding. That's where, I see a lot of people, start to, find bodybuilding if they've been doing functional stuff before, is they're just this is cool. At least I'm getting my swole on.
Right. And for me, I needed to work on pull-ups and strict things. And I mean, there's a ton of stuff you can do. That's the bad thing. If you heard one thing on your lower body, you have all your upper body. If you heard something on your upper body, you have all your lower body, the good and bad.
Yeah.
So I did do that. And my coach gave me programming still. I think for a while I had to take a little bit of time off to just I was, upset about it. And being in the gym, I wanted to be there, but I didn't because, it was great to see everyone and be around such positive people at my gym.
But you're also being reminded of all the stuff you want to do.
Oh, that I can't do. And to see them do it is hard. And then once I got over that, then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I can do, and that's what it is.
Yeah. And you'll see it a lot, especially, if you're a coach, you're going to have athletes that are going to get injured.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be prepared for, training them is one thing, but, a lot of athletes, the mental part of it is what's really going to screw with them. I'm a 30-something-year-old male. I'm not super adept at dealing with crying females when they're upset. I don't know. I'm not real good at being helpful. And when I used to coach, I had a handful of higher-end athletes who either had to have a slap repair or they had to have something else done. And when you're telling this young athlete, okay, time to do 10,000 air squats again because that's what you can do. And they're just I don't want to. And they just start breaking down. They're just I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do pull-ups. I want to do that. I'm well, I'm sorry. You can't do that today. You can do it later.
Yeah.
You can't do it today.
Right. And Lee would send me some stuff, and in the beginning, sorry, Mike, but I didn't do it just because, I think I was upset and I was like, I don't want to do this, and so I just stayed off for a little bit. And then I was like, and when you change your mentality, which it is a lot in your mind, then you realize I can be, and this stuff is helping me out, and there is a ton of stuff I can do. So, I totally understand how that is. Mentally, I think I had a couple breakdowns, but for the most part, I stayed positive.
Yeah, and if you're an athlete that's in the middle of having either you've had an injury or you've just had surgery, you need to know a handful of things. There's going to be real dark days during your recovery.
Oh,
They're just going to happen. It's you.
Have you had anything major?
I had a slap repair.
Okay.
I had a slap repair, so I was in the sling for 4 months before I could do almost anything.
Right. And that's so much you can't do with your.
Well, and for me, it was a trajectory changer because I was getting towards the end of my burnout cycle with CrossFit. Not
gotcha.
for only just because I had been doing it for so long, and I was a coach in my off time and still doing my day job, and I was just I just got I was just done with it for now. Right. I might come back later, but I'm done with it for now. So I was like, I'm going to transition to weightlifting. And so I did that and I loved it. But then I started getting up around the 100-kilo mark for the snatch, and every time I would I could pull it, I could get overhead, I could drop right into the bottom, and I would catch it, and that shoulder would just go and just slide out, just excruciating pain.
Crazy.
And it was like about 3 months of that before me and my coach had a conversation where it was just like, yeah, go. And that's when I found strongman.
That's good.
And so like, if you have an injury, you're going to have there's depression's going to set in.
Yeah.
That's just part of like being injured and recovering.
Right.
And you may have to shift what your goals were. Just like with basketball, you reached a certain point where you were just like, this doesn't suit me long term.
Right.
So I'm going to do this other thing that also excites me.
Yeah. And that's why I was okay hanging up my shoes and being okay with it, because I feel like I had run the full course and I had done everything I really wanted to do. And I before I hung them up, I tried at the highest level I could and gave it my best and prepared for it. And when I didn't make it, I knew when one door closed, another one would open.
Yeah.
But talking about those dark days, I tell everyone like who has asked me, or I didn't even know like how much of a like people would identify with being injured. Like I started posting just like, okay, here's me rowing on this with my one leg and this and that, and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for just helping and so showing me what else I can do, and for me, like I tell everyone, I'm like It is hard. Like it does. There are days that just flat out suck, and you know what I mean. But I let yourself feel that. Let yourself cry and be mad and disappointed and upset. But then the sooner you allow yourself to do that, the sooner you will move on from that.
I'm so glad. I had this exact conversation. If you can post something that is like posting booty pictures and posting like oh dude, like like it's swole day, bro, all that stuff is great, but if you can post something that is showing your struggle or your victory over something, you can rest assured somebody out there is having a similar experience and it is helpful to them.
Yeah, and I had no idea. I was like, wow, this many people have torn their Achilles, and
yes.
and some people came by the gym. It was around the games, CrossFit Games, and our gym's real close to Carson. So, people they're like, hey, can I drop by? I just tore my Achilles, so I actually am like friends with, and there was a master's guy, and he tore his Achilles, so we became friends, and we talked about, just like different, where are you at in your weeks, and, because I was a couple weeks.
What are you using for rehab?
Exactly, like what can you do? What is helping you out the most? What does your doctor say? And it's funny because there's so many different ways, for the most part, they, the same process, but their incision might be like higher or on a different spot, and where you tore it and how you tore it makes a difference. And I think in your recovery, I was looking at Jennifer's stuff, and hers looked super smaller scar. So I don't know.
It'll just depend on what
and how your body heals to, the
where it tore, how long it tore, everything's going to be different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the biggest thing and one of the hardest things is, when you're injured, like not comparing yourself to other people. And, we have a coach at our gym who just had rotator cuff surgery. And so she's in a sling, and she's like, man, I can't even imagine, I feel all these things looking at other people's like pictures and videos and all this people working out at your level. She's like, I can't imagine seeing, how you feel like doing this. And yeah, it's depressing seeing everyone like, yes, I PR'd and I'm getting this much better at this and blah, blah, and you just have to
think you're losing time.
Oh,
you're like, this is just slipping away and I'm never going to, like, I remember having thoughts where I'm like, I'm never going to get back.
Right.
And I'm actually stronger now than I ever was. And almost all the high-end athletes I've seen who take the time post-injury or post-surgery come back better.
Right. Yeah,
I've
definitely
seen very few examples of somebody who, like me, I can't do a snatch anymore. But I found other stuff that I'm like, dude, I PR'd in the time since my surgery, I PR'd my deadlift, I PR'd
awesome.
my back squat, I PR'd all my power lifts.
Yeah.
You, Jennifer, Mandy from my gym, I'm going to give you a shout out, Mandy, all have come back from their injuries better than they were when they went in.
Yeah, I think especially being an athlete or, just the competitive side in you and that the whole mentality of like, don't quit. This is one thing that's going to knock you down, but you got to get back up and you got to prove that, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to come back stronger. I think that drive is inside of every one of us, I think if you do CrossFit or any kind of sport, you have that in you. Yeah. So that's why it allowed me and other people to come back. Cheryl Brost, I don't know if she's from up NorCal, and she tore exact same thing. She tore it box jump deadlift in 2000.
Is that her? Were you doing scooter races with her?
Oh, that was Molly Vollmer.
Okay, so I saw that video and I couldn't tell with the sunglasses on who it was.
Yeah, Molly broke her foot at regionals. Coming down from the rope climb. But Cheryl, the year before, tore it in 2013 regionals and came back, and I think she finished 4th, right? Missed it by 1 spot. And then went to the games as a Masters. She's 42 or something like that. But yeah, so really just inspiring to see that. I'm like, that's crazy and cool. And, if you guys can do it, I'm going to try to follow that same path.
Yeah, because there are people who'll get surgery and they think they're like, oh, I'm just done now.
Yeah.
I'm just done because it hurts. And so, if I try to do something else, it's going to make it worse. But if they can see examples of people that, just keep doing the work, go to your PT,
yes,
learn some mobility shit, start
get better
opening
at
up
the
some
stuff,
books.
Your weaknesses or other stuff you can work on.
Yeah, work on positioning. That's one that I people that have had shoulder injuries. I see them come back and they stop doing all this lazy kipping.
Oh yeah, because they had to be careful with that stuff.
Yeah, they pay attention now.
Yeah.
And now they can rep out genuine, real gymnastics because they're paying attention to their positioning.
Yes,
they're doing it because they're terrified of getting a repeat injury.
Yeah,
but still.
Were you nervous to come back and do stuff on your shoulder?
Oh God, yeah.
And that's another thing too.
Everything hurt, everything that hurt even a little. I was just like, oh my God, I tore it again.
Yeah. Want to know a funny story? I think everybody has the freak out injuries, So my sister, she took care of me for one day. She had to watch me, and she got my scooter out. We were gonna go eat, and she put it up on the curb. And usually, you put it down on the ground so I can just go. She put it up on the curb. I get on it, and she the next thing she turns around, just face planted, went off the curb, face planted in the middle of the street, and she's
Jesus.
"Oh my gosh!" And then she started laughing after she found out I was okay. But I think, and I totally hit my foot, and I thought I retore it, and everyone is like, "Be careful! Try not to do too much because that's when little things and you think you re-tear it, and every little thing, everyone thinks you re-tear it."
Oh no! Okay, that's what you're talking about. I misunderstood. Yes, I did that.
Oh, you did?
Okay, so. About 9 weeks out, when I was just starting to go to PT, I was doing a bunch of air squats with a belt, a dip belt, so I could hang weights and stuff,
Gotcha.
and like sled drags and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
I was like, I need to work on my my motors shit. I need to go do some sprints or something.
Yeah.
And my wife's just like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm just gonna go out." I was like an 8-year-old who's going out to play baseball when he's not supposed to. I was like, I'm just gonna go outside to jog. It's not a big deal. You don't have to look or anything. And so I grab a sandbag and I jerry rig a belt for it.
Oh my god!
And I go out in the street and I take off at a sprint and I get about 4 strides into it. And keep in mind, I'm still I'm just starting PT on my arm, and the band snaps. Just snaps right out, and I know I'm gonna fall. There's nothing I can do about it, so I just tuck my arms in and roll onto my good shoulder as fast as I can. So I just skid across the blacktop, and I'm all scabbed up, and my high elite shorts are just shredded on the side.
Yeah.
And I go inside, and she's just my wife sees me, and I'm just walking sideways, I'm not facing her.
So she can't see
she can't see the whole left side of me.
You're right.
It's just obliterated. And so for a week, every time I would talk to her, I'm just talking to her leading with my right shoulder. She's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, Nothing. Everything's fine. Everything's cool.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw these shorts away because I don't like them anymore. Also, I'm going to be taking showers by myself for the next week because, my arm, I need room. So don't look at me.
Yeah, no, I know. And even I went to my surgeon, and even my PTs and stuff. They're like, "Jamie, I follow you on Instagram. I see what you're doing." I'm like, "Oh shoot," And my surgeon, thank God, he doesn't. So I was like, "Yeah, it's starting to hurt." I just saw him for a visit. I was like, "It just hurts a little when I walk around." And he's like, "Well, you're right around the time that you can, start increasing your activity and start doing a little more stuff." And I was like, man, if he only knew the shit I was doing, he would have been pissed. But you do what you can do. I did it cautiously. It's not like I just started jumping on boxes. I kind of jumped onto a plate. I'm like, okay, I could do that, and jumped on this a little higher until, it's trial and error, I think.
Yeah.
So.
And everybody's going to be different, and you should definitely try to try to get back.
And listen to your PT.
But you should listen to your PT. Listen to your PT and be honest with them. Like when I went to my PT, like people will go, they're like, oh, I just want to get healthy again. It's like when you talk to a coach and they're like, what are your goals? You're like, I want to get healthy. Like, no, tell me what your actual goals are.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to hear. You go to your PT. If your goal is to have, a 200 kilo deadlift again, you need to tell them that right out of the gate. If your goal is to put 315 overhead, you need to tell them that right out of the gate.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Like a good PT
will get you back.
Well, yeah, they'll go like, okay, then that's what we're going to work towards.
You're lucky your wife is a PT. So if you're...
Oh, she never helped me.
What?
She refused. She won't work on me. She refuses.
Why?
Because she does. Her explanation is that she's like, family members make terrible patients. And I was like, but you've never told me to do anything, and I would do it if you told me.
Yeah.
She doesn't like to work on me.
Oh, man. But that's like free. She'd rather have you spend money and go to someone?
At the time she was in school.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, at the time she was in school. But she also, like, I'll ask her for advice, and she'll just be like,
nope.
You should go to a PT.
What? All right. Hey, maybe that's why you guys are happy. That's what works. Maybe.
So we talked about all the serious injury stuff. I always like to talk to our guests about like what do you do on your non-training days?
I am pretty growing up in Southern California, like beach. I live 5 minutes from the beach. Mm-hmm. So I love that's like my just calming and that's what was good when I went to Europe. Like when I was in Greece, I was so far away from home and my first time being away, but they're right, the sea is right there. And so it was kind of like the same feel. So I felt kind of at home being able to live so close to the beach. So I love the beach. I'm actually like really very kind of boring. Like I like to just relax. I think because my body's so, I'm on the go. I'm working out always like at the gym, training and talking to people and coaching kids for basketball that I like to just relax. And my guilty pleasure, I love The Bachelor on Mondays.
Okay. That's one we haven't gotten yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we get a lot of Netflix binges.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, where you just watch them. Yeah, and I'll sit and watch movies or kind of just hang out. I'm a foodie. I love to eat. I saw Sprinkles on the drive over here.
Oh yeah, that's down there. I can give you some recommendations.
Oh great, I'm excited. Yeah, so my sister, we're gonna try to go to. I'm
assuming you're not paleo.
Well, see, I gained weight during my injury. Mm-hmm. Gained weight, kind of stepped on the scale and was like, after the holidays, and was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe the number on there. So I am kind of watching it to try to get back down for the open. But normally, coming from basketball, like all the other sports were real discipline and, track and field, swimming, they all had those tight uniforms, and basketball players, we had these big jerseys. And so they didn't really, unless you were like 15, 20, 30 pounds overweight, they didn't put you on anything restricted.
Yeah.
So, my teammates would order everything under the sun. So we eat desserts and fry everything bad. But,
I just keep waiting to interview the first top tier athlete that is actually paleo because I haven't met one yet.
Yeah, there are people who eat super clean.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But I enjoy food. So I love, if you have good suggestions.
What's your food of choice?
I love Mexican food.
There's a lot of the good stuff here.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I was sad. Gallo Blanco or something is a place that has really good ceviche here. I went one time with my friends out here, but it's closed, so I have to find somewhere else.
Oh.
So anyways, but
you can go to Los Dos Molinos.
Okay.
It's good. It's not coastal, but it's Sonoran, but it's still good.
Okay. I'm Japanese, American, so I love Japanese food, but pretty much anything Italian.
A lot less of that here.
You have lots of Japanese?
No, I said there's a lot less of that here.
Oh, I was like, oh, okay.
There's not much.
Yeah. So not too much Asian food out here?
There's Asian food out here, but it's all Thai, Chinese, and then
Gotcha.
Filipino is actually relatively well represented.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. And then I just love sweets. Mm-hmm. Oh, cupcakes, cookies, anything sweet.
Pie or cake?
Donuts. Ooh. I'm more of a cake person. Do you like pie?
Yes.
What's your favorite?
All fruit pies. All fruit pies, then banana cream, and then...
banana cream pie?
Yeah.
That's my grandma makes one that's unbelievable.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I would take banana cream pie over a cake. Okay. But yeah, so I just like to hang out, relax, and I still love basketball, so coaching kind of helps with that. And sometimes we have a hoop in our gym. We have a super nice one because I made sure we got one of those. So I'll shoot around every now and then. I miss it. I love all sports like tennis and beach volleyball. The other day I was running at the beach, and this is why my buddies were like, "Hey," I just happened to see them. They're like, "Jamie, jump in with us." And I was like, "Okay, let me finish my run. I'm gonna run down." And on the run, I was like, "Jamie, you probably shouldn't. I don't think you're ready to play yet in the sand, like
There's
jumping."
a lot of jumping.
Yeah, and then on the way back, I was like, "Okay, I'm in." So then I played with them, and it was okay. We played 3-on-3, so it wasn't like crazy running, less coverage than 2-on-2. So, but I missed because during the summer I had to go and just kind of sit with my crutches, like in my cast, just on the sand on a towel and not move, and so it wasn't so fun just watching. And so it was my first time being able to play again, and it makes me happy. So, and I like traveling. So pretty easy.
Right on. When you train, when it's your choice, what are your music choices?
Oh, I like rap and hip hop, that kind of stuff, but I love country.
What kind of country?
I just went to the Eric Church concert in LA.
I don't know what that is.
You don't like any country?
I don't like new country.
No, so you're like an old school guy.
Yeah, if it was made what?
Who opened up for Eric Church? Oh my gosh, you all know Dwight Yoakam? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know Dwight Yoakam. I go older than that though.
Like Randy Travis, like.
No, like Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard.
Okay, gotcha.
Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing new? You don't like any Zach Brown and none of them?
No, once it gets poppy at all, once they stop singing about like booze and cocaine in prison, it's like, I stopped listening. Like, it's, yeah, I'm an old ass man. Don't mind me.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll put on some teeny bopper stuff. Yeah, just have fun and dance around and feel good music. Techno, I can't. To be honest, I can listen like when I'm working out. Actually, like whatever. I don't really pay attention to it. What can't you listen to? Sometimes we even play like sometimes slow jams will come on and we're like, what is this? But you just keep going.
Okay.
So not really anything. There's
nothing. It's just like, oh shit, are you kidding? Really? Like somebody puts something on and you're just like,
No. What is that for you? New country?
I understand why people like new country. It's just not my thing.
Gotcha.
My offender is new metal.
Oh, that you cannot.
New metal, Avenged Sevenfold, Nickelback, Killswitch Engage, any of that stuff. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Why too hardcore? Too much?
No, the opposite. To me it is a mollified version of something that I used to enjoy. Like it's guys playing metal who are actually in a pop band.
Right. So you're not a poppy guy.
Not by and large, no.
Yeah.
I used to be a big, like more so than now, if you can imagine. I was a huge music snob when I was in my 20s.
So who would you want to go see in concert now?
God, these days I can't even think. I don't think there's anyone outright. Oh, I would still go see I would go see Tom Waits. I would go see Mike Doty. Mm-hmm. I really love Mike Doty. That's in the realm of like slower stuff that I like. I can still go see the Dropkick Murphys anytime they play, although I can't stand their fans. I was really lucky. I got to see a lot. Like growing up, I got to see a lot of people on stage that I considered legends before they went away. Like
nice.
I got to see the Ramones live on stage.
Oh,
I got
cool.
to see. I've seen Rancid more times than I can count.
Wow.
I got to see Joe Strummer a year before he passed away.
No way.
Perform live, and he was amazing.
Oh, that's so cool.
But it was really into music. So, like, I was curious. You're co-owner of Torrance CrossFit. Mm-hmm. What were the circumstances of opening up your box?
So. When I tried out for the Sparks, I ran a huge clinic for them. Mm-hmm. There was like 250 kids on Staples Center floor. It was crazy. So we raised money for them, which they didn't give not even a dime back to the Japanese American community or whoever. We organized it all. Oh. Anyways, which is whatever. Anyways, and so then I got a Facebook message, and a guy messaged me and said, "Hey, I brought my daughter to your clinic. The way you move, the way you warmed up, I think I own a CrossFit gym in LA. I think you'd be really good at CrossFit. Like, come out and try it, And he kept on writing me, and I was like, at the time, I had heard so much about CrossFit. I was like, I don't want to hear any more about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't care about it. I don't want to go. Mm-hmm. And then
CrossFit is the athletic equivalent of the movie Frozen. You'll probably like it if you try it, but everyone is sick of hearing about it.
Yeah. It's a great movie, by the way.
I love Frozen. I have back squat. I have PR to back squat to let it go.
Oh, I should try that.
It's actually pretty great.
So then I finally went, loved it, obviously. And then he also lives in Torrance and was at the time like getting out of his box in LA. So he's like, hey, we should open up one in Torrance. And so it was us two. And then my sister, I'm not so much a businesswoman. I'm more of like I was going to
ask, like, do you have an entrepreneurial bent? Like, because like people, really great coaches will open CrossFit boxes.
Right.
And then they get hit with all the like day-to-day operation stuff. Yeah. You're like, this part is not fun. I don't like this.
Exactly. So I'm one of those people. Okay. So thank goodness my sister, she's 3 years older than me. It's the 3 of us. So Dan, Umara, Lexi, Hagiya, and then me. And they handle a lot. Like, fortunately for me, they're like, Jaime, train for regionals, do whatever you need to do, and they take care of a lot of stuff. And that's why my sister is at the CCB course for OPEX. And, and they allow me to kind of, train and be around people. And I'm more of like I'd rather...
You're the face of the box.
Yeah, but I'd rather just be around the people and help them out and talk to everyone. And you get into numbers and all that, but my partner...
Numbers, zoning, like employee issues.
Yeah, but Push Press, my other gym owner, has started that. It's kind of Push Press. They handle like gym management and all the check-ins and sign-ups and
really
you should check it out. Yeah,
okay.
Everyone should check it out.
Is it pushpress.com?
Yes, and they also have a clock. I'll show you an app.
That's a brilliant name too.
Yeah,
it's like WordPress but push press. Okay,
yeah,
that's banging.
For everyone, they have a cool app. It's like a timer. I'll show it to you, and it counts down. Coach Bergner's on there, Asia Bardo, Carl Paley, a bunch of people, and so they count down and kind of give you a little motivation thing. It's really cool. But for me, that system is easy to use. He even tells me, he's like, this ex-D1 player, my partner can figure it out. Anyone can figure it out, so I can sign up people and do that stuff. So one time I signed up someone, I took their credit card and I signed up instead of for 1 month, I signed up for a whole year. So it was a $1,500 something like charge. And I was like, oh, and so we had to reverse all that. But now I'm getting a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so thank goodness for my partners.
That's awesome.
But I love what I do. I love how this kind of fell into, I had no idea what I was going to do after basketball. And so this kind of taking off, mixed in with still running basketball camps and clinics and stuff is kind of my passion. So I'm happy.
Right on. So what's the next 6 months look like?
I'm going to try to do the Open. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm like, of course you could make the top 20 in SoCal, Jaime. But my body... I don't know, running through stuff, and that's why it's kind of good to be out here. I'm going to go work out with Amanda Goodman and Alex LaChance and all them, and they're probably going to kick my ass. So it's kind of a good wake-up call to see just where exactly I'm at. If I don't make it this year, I can't. Everyone's like, don't
By the way, remind them that I asked them to be on the podcast.
I will. This is an awesome show. Like, this is so cool. And so I will definitely. I just went to dinner with Danny Nichols yesterday, so I'll tell him.
I'm so bummed about this. I was covering Kong Fest.
Okay.
And Danny Nichols was there. And I meant repeatedly to ask him to be on the show.
Yeah.
And then I turned I was there all day filming.
Yeah.
I was there all day covering the event. Did an interview where Matt Foreman interviewed Danny. And I pack up my stuff. I turn around and I can't find him anymore.
No.
He seems like a cool guy.
He is the coolest, most funniest guy ever.
And just bonkers strong. Just terrifyingly strong.
So last night we went to True Foods and
cool.
we were waiting for a table and we went into the Apple store. And so I'm like, Danny, you gotta put more of your videos up because he's crazy strong. People love him. His personality is really funny. But I was like, dude, you need to post more videos because people don't get to see how you are and crazy freaking nature, things you lift. And so he just bought a tripod. So he's going to put his iPhone 6 in there, 6 Plus, and so hopefully you'll see more videos from him.
Very cool.
But he actually introduced me to Mike. We met in Hawaii at a competition, and he's like, Jaime, we had such a great time. He's like, Jaime, you got to get with my coach, and so he introduced me to, and then it ended up we were on the same team for Grid, and just great guy, super nice. I'll definitely tell him.
Okay, just because I like to give recommendations, if you guys are all hanging out, so you do eat carbs, just to be clear. Just check it. I like
carbs
to
are good for everybody.
They are good for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone is afraid.
If you're if you're new to CrossFit and you're trying to lean out and alter your life, sure, do paleo for a while. When you're ready to play with the big kids, start eating carbs again.
Definitely. They're not bad for you.
They're not bad. They're great and delicious.
Oh, sorry, Vitargo. That's what I take. It's a carb.
Oh, okay.
Post, pre, and post. Sorry.
Okay. And so, do you have any plans for dinner? I'm not asking you out on a date. I'm giving you a recommendation.
Of course not. We're gonna go check out. We're gonna go check out Rush Club tonight.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh shit. Oh, I feel bad. I forgot about that. And the gym I used to coach at is actually competing there tonight.
Oh really? Are you gonna be there?
I can't.
Okay.
I can't. My schedule doesn't allow it, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
I would love to go because I used to coach over at CrossFit Infernal for years. In fact, the name. I'm just gonna say this. People get Bonnie, George. You can get mad if you want, but this is it's the truth. I was an athlete and coached at CrossFit Infernal for so long that I'm in fact the reason it is called CrossFit Infernal.
No way.
And I designed the logo Spicy the Kettlebell.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, look at you. Yeah. You do it all.
Yeah. I'm real great. That's
man of great talents.
I'm pretty great. I was going to say, if you have, while you're here, you should go to Cornish Pasty for dinner.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely take a note of that. What kind of food is it?
They're like, imagine like a calzone, but in more like a pie crust than like a pizza dough.
Okay.
And I have great affection for it because I'm Finn. And Finnish copper miners. I grew up eating it because Finnish copper miners, that was their food of choice.
Yeah.
But it is the most comforting comfort food any human being has ever created. Just this like buttery shell, just like stuffed with like they make it a traditional one that has like rutabaga and like ground beef and all that stuff.
Right.
But you can also get like chicken tikka masala stuffed in it, or you can get the royale with cheese where they like just cram basically all the contents of like a burger and fries into the shell.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, so I'll definitely, shoot, my sister's tired, but we'll try to hit. We need to eat, and then we're gonna go check out Rush Club, John Para. So I'm also with RX Smart Gear Jump Ropes, and they're and Wad Shop. So two of their athletes, Sharice Chan and John Para, are competing tonight. So I'm gonna go check it out. Sounds fun. Yeah, I mean I'm excited to watch it.
Well, this has been awesome. If you want to learn more, you've been a contributing writer for Juggernaut before.
Yes.
You've your Instagram account. Do you want to plug your Instagram?
Yeah, Jamie Joyce 2. Jamie. Everyone spells it Jaime. It's Jamie Joyce 2. You could also.
I did make the same mistake because I have a friend named Jamie. My friend Jamie, who's been my friend for years, spells it Jaime.
Jaime, yeah. So everyone calls me Jaime or James. It's okay. And Torrance CrossFit is our website of our gym. If you're ever in Torrance, you're more than welcome to drop by or come work out with me. And thank you. It's been such a great time, and this is a great show and great. The in studio is awesome by far. Yeah. So if you ever have a chance, I'll try to get all my teammates to plug them to get them in here.
Only if they want to.
If they want to.
I don't like to force people, but people always they're like, "How do you get everybody on there?" I was like, I ask very politely, and then when that doesn't work, I just start annoying them on Twitter or Instagram until they say yes.
Yeah, it works, So, but yeah, thank you so much. It's been so much fun, and thank you for all the support. And hopefully, everyone out there who is dealing with injuries, you guys will come back stronger. Keep plugging away, working hard, and we will come back bigger and better and stronger than ever.
We will talk to you Quadzillas later.
Thanks. Bye.
This has been a presentation of the Squats and Espresso Radio Network. For more, go to squatsannespresso.com.